how finding an old letter from my dad made me forgive things I never thought I could. I didn't expect the past to punch me in the gut on an ordinary Tuesday. I wasn't digging through old boxes looking for closure. I was looking for a HDMI cable. And instead, I found a letter that changed the way I remembered my dad forever. I grew up in Ohio, raised mostly by my mom. My dad wasn't a bad man. He was just gone. He'd show up for birthdays or the occasional Sunday lunch. But he was a ghost in every other way that mattered. He was the guy who missed my high school graduation because he got called into work. The guy who told me he'd be at my college move-in day, then sent a text 3 hours late saying he couldn't make it. The guy who said he loved me, but never really knew me. So yeah, I was angry for a long time. Angry enough that when he passed away 2 years ago, I didn't shed a tear. I just felt numb, like the world had closed a chapter I never got to finish. Last week, I was cleaning out my mom's garage, shoving aside Christmas decorations and dusty paint cans, when a small wooden box fell off the top shelf and cracked open at my feet. Inside were a few old photos and a sealed envelope with my name written in his handwriting. My hands literally shook. I sat down on the concrete floor, legs crossed like a kid, and opened it. The letter was dated 3 months before he died. He wrote, "I know I wasn't the father you deserved. I'm not writing this for excuses. I'm writing this so one day you might understand something I never knew how to say out loud." He talked about struggling with depression since before I was born, how he hid it because fathers weren't supposed to break. He wrote about losing his job when I was 7 and pretending everything was fine so I wouldn't worry. He wrote about how he kept his distance because he thought I deserved a better role model than a man who couldn't fix himself. Then he wrote something that cracked me open. "I didn't stay away because I didn't love you. I stayed away because I did. I was scared you'd grow up and see me the way I saw myself." I don't know how long I sat there reading it over and over. The garage was silent except for the sound of a few leaves blowing under the door and the stupid hum of the old chest freezer in the corner. All the resentment I'd held for years felt heavy in a different way, like carrying a bag of rocks I suddenly realized wasn't mine to hold. He ended the letter with, "If you ever find this, I hope you've become the person I always knew you could be. And I hope, wherever I am, that you'll forgive the man I couldn't be." I cried for the first time in years. Big, ugly, embarrassing tears, not because the letter fixed everything, but because, for the first time ever, I felt like I actually met my dad. Not the ghost, not the disappointment, the man, and somehow, that was enough to forgive him. I folded the letter, put it back in the box, and sat there until the sun went down through the little garage window. I won't pretend that forgiveness magically made everything perfect, but it made everything lighter, and sometimes that's all you need to finally move forward.